Hi, congratulations on your new RV. We're really excited for you. Please make sure before you're signing that you bring the following items with you. If you're a cash buyer, please make sure that you bring a cashier's check, no personal checks at time of signing, or you may bring actual cash. If you're a finance customer, please make sure that you bring proof of insurance listing your specific lien holder. If you need that information, please call us ahead of time. Also, make sure that you bring all valid driver's license of all persons that will be listed on the title. If you have a trade that you're trading in with us, please make sure that you bring your 10-day payoff as well as your title and all persons who will be listed on the title of that trade. Arrive 30 minutes early before your appointment time so we can properly inspect your unit, and also make sure that you have the fridge on and running prior to arrival. If you have any questions, please feel free to give us a call at 810-686-0710. Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Hello, this is Mike with TradeWinds RV Center, here to congratulate you on your Keystone Bullet Colt 172 RB travel trailer. I'm going to walk you around it, show you how to use a few things to get the best out of your camping experience. Let's start by talking about arriving at the campsite. A couple things to take into consideration when parking. On your campsite, you got this big tulle awning to come out. Little tulle awning, but you leave room for your awning to come out. On your off campsite, you have your slide to think about, but I also want you to think about where your power and water connections are going to be. Your power is going to plug in right behind your tire on your off camp side or your driver's side of your tow vehicle. Then your docking station is going to be in front of your tires on the same side. So park accordingly so you can utilize the facilities at the campsite. Once we arrive, unhook our hitch. First thing I do is level our unit. Unit comes with a power tongue jack. Night docking light should you arrive at night. Extend to raise, retract to lower. Now should you lose power, under this rubber stopper right here, your hand crank for leveling will get this up and down without power. Should you lose power, you need to get it on. Let's put that on there, bring it up and down. Speaking of power, check your battery posts when you arrive. Make sure those haven't wiggled loose going down the road. So once we got our unit level, next thing we do is stabilize it. All four corners of the unit got these stabilizing jacks, 3/4 inch hand crank. Can use an impact driver or drill gun. Just slow down when you get to the bottom, because remember, our unit's already level. All we're trying to do now is stabilize it. So I'm going to recommend some stabilizing jack pads. Jack pads are going to protect the feet of your stabilizing jacks, dirt, debris, hot blacktop in the summer. Going to better distribute the weight. Really good investment. Use your 10% off coupon. Grab a 4-pack of them. Run them down up underneath these, and then just run these down until they are taut. Once you start to get any type of resistance from this hand crank, just give it a 1/4 turn and stop. Remember, we don't want to change the levelness of our unit. We just want to stabilize it. Go ahead and get all four of those down, all four corners. Once you get our stabilizing jacks down, we can hook up our power and water. Again, your power cord plugs in right behind your tire here. 30 amp service comes in to the left, turns to the right. Once it's on, put your black washer on. At the end of that 30 amp service, should you need to plug into a 110, there's a 30 to 15 amp reducer that comes in your convenience pack. Got your power hooked up. Let's hook up your water. Docking station's up here toward the front. At campsites, we are going to hook up to city water connection. First and foremost, your water pressure regulator. This water pressure regulator is going to reduce the water pressure to 40 to 50 psi, protecting the lines in the unit. You don't know what the water pressure is at different campsites, so use these when putting fluid into your unit. Hook that up, hook up your hose, but don't turn our hose on yet. One more step. Just to the left of that, it's going to be your hot water heater. All we're doing at this point, folks, make sure our drain plug's back in. May have left it out last time we were camping. Get that rod back in there with some plumber's tape around it, preferably not putty. Plumber's putty will gum up on you, so use some plumber's tape on that. Get that in there nice and snug. That is 1 1/8 inches. Get that in there nice and snug. Once that's in there tight, you can go ahead and turn this hose on. After that hose has been on for a few minutes, go inside, open up your slide, open up your water taps. Get a nice steady flow of water going through all of your water taps. Get all the air out of the lines. Then you shut them off and you'll know that your hot water heater is full about that time. Lift up on this pressure release valve, you'll see a little water come out. You'll know that you got water up in there. Once it's full, you can turn that on from indoors. Now, if for some reason it doesn't seem to be working, come out and check to see if these are bubbled up. They are reset buttons. If this overheats, they'll bubble up, shut itself off. So just press back in on those and that'll turn that back on for you. All right, let's say we're gonna go camping and we're not gonna use city water. We're gonna go dry camping or boondocking. In that case, we're gonna fill our freshwater tank. No need for a water pressure regulator here. We can gravity fill this with a hose. Two ways to tell it's full. One, there's an overflow valve right here. Or two, on the inside where you check the levels of your black and gray tanks, there's also a freshwater button. Keep an eye on that. Once that's full, remove your hose. Put your cap back on, and then whenever you want to utilize that water, you'll turn on your water pump indoors. Don't turn on your water pump when hooked up to the city water. That's already pressurized. All right, we're all set up. Power and water, we're all ready to camp. Let's go ahead and walk you around the rest of the outside of the unit, continuing over here on this off camp side. Again, our hot water heater here. Water connections. Down below our water connections, we've got our low point drains. To the right of that is going to be our gray tank drain. And that blue one down there connected to your fresh tank is your freshwater drain. Over here's a spot you can put your sewage hose. Again, your hot water heater. Big pass-through storage area. On your slide, those are access to the back of your fridge. Again, your power behind your tire. Here's where we'll dump our black tank. Here's where we'll flush out our black tank. We'll talk about that when we do dump it. Got a hot and cold shower out here. Your 751 key will work on. Little accessory hitch. This is a flue for your furnace. Two things on that. One, make sure it's never blocked. Two, if you are running your furnace, steer clear of that. It does get hot. Coming down your campsite, you got a couple outdoor speakers. Your Julia awning, that'll run out. Show you how to run that out. You got a 110 here. Here's your hand crank for your awning. That's the lighting out here. Again, your stabilizing jacks. Spare tire, access that by your hand crank. Bring that down. Again, your battery hookup. And that about covers everything out here. Let's take a look on the inside. Alright, coming up inside the unit, first thing I always like to point out your fire extinguisher. Make sure that you and everyone that's camping with you knows the fire extinguisher is located by the entry doorway in case of an emergency. Stepping up all the way to our right up top is our control panel. This can be your awning light. Down below that, that'll show you a brand new battery. Freshwater, that's what I said to hold down when you're filling your freshwater tank. Then your black and gray tanks. Here's where you turn on your water pump if you're using that potable water. Your slide control, and here's where you turn on your water heater. Behind me, we got some closet. Close this up. Step inside and go right into our bathroom. Mention your 110 with GFCI reset here. Got a little plumbing to maintain. It's almost all PEX nowadays. Just keep an eye on it. You got our bouncing house down the road. Make sure nothing's wiggled loose over time. Here's your thermostat for your heat. Crank that up one time. There's your furnace release there. Shut that off. It may take us a minute or two to cycle through. Whereas our AC, you can crank that all up from right here. High, low, high, cool, high, fan. Yeah. Kitchen, you will use a stick lighter to light these up. Turn your gas to high to light. 110 behind your sink. Self-explanatory microwave. Okay, Norcold fridge here. Next to our bed, I'll start above your bed, smoke alarm. That's some lighting back here. Now next to your bed is your 12-volt carbon monoxide propane detector. The reason I mentioned that's 12 volts, always running off your battery. I did not see a battery disconnect on this unit, so if you are out dry camping, boondocking somewhere, and you're going to be gone for the entire day, disconnect one of your battery posts up front to keep this from running your battery down while you're gone. 110, and then to the right of that is your breaker box and fuses. Ton of 15s, a 30, and a 40. Highly recommend having a handful of those with you when you go camping. Television here, sound system here. On your TV, when you arrive at campsites, you want to make sure that this red light's on. That's going to be your digital TV antenna. That'll allow you to pick up more channels. The sound system is indoor and outdoor, depending on the zone that you use. I got to pick up much inside this metal building. But Bluetooth, HDMI, USB, nice system. Hit your indoor speakers. Your table will lift up. Remove these legs, set it down on the bars and these wooden pieces, and that'll give you another small sleeping quarters. Storage underneath your seating here. You have a hand crank open vent here, and that about covers everything on the inside. So act like we're leaving the campsite and get ready to close the unit up. I like to start by just shutting off my interior lights. Walk through the unit. Almost everything in this unit is hand lights. Walk through and shut them all off. Then I like to say doors and drawers. Go through your unit, make sure all the doors and drawers are closed. Nothing's going to impede your slide from coming in. I'll leave these last light here above me on. You can watch the slide come in. Go to your control panel. I'll turn this one back on too so you can see that. Come to the control panel. Slide in. Again, making sure nothing has been left in the way. Shut off our last couple lights and exit the unit. Now what I want to do real quick before closing it up is I want to show you how your awning works. Alright, I'll show you how your awning works. You see you've got a little split here. It's going to fit right up in the slot here. I'll get that up here and start cranking to the right. So once we've got it cranked out, come to the corners, you're going to pull forward on this and that's going to release this leg. Come up here, grab the leg and pull it out. So extend this leg. Extend it again from up here. Alright, so I cranked it out a little far. Not about like that. Your leg's about that far from the ground. Lift that leg up. We're going to tuck this in here. Once it's tucked in, this angle here. Once it's tucked in, push down on the top. Same thing over here. Release the leg. Bring it out. Extend it. Send it up. Get it in. A little hard to do one-handed. You get that done. Alright, so once I got my legs in here, I'm about halfway. Go ahead and press this little silver button. And each one that's going to release these legs. Then it'll crank out further. Sometimes it's a little tricky to get out of your slot up here. Not just yours, it's all of them. And there you go. So now putting it back. You can attach these to the building, your trailer, or you can bring them down to the ground. They do have weighted sandbags that you can put on these to use them that way. But the reverse process, just release that from the wall, push that all the way up. Again, easier, a two-handed project. Press up, put that weight back in, set your leg up. Set it up so that your foot is all the way in. Once that's up in there, push this and lock it back in. And then we just roll it back up. Alright, we got our awning back in. If we are out dry camping, boondocking, get up underneath here and dump that freshwater tank. Bring up your stabilizing jacks and hit the road. If you're at a campsite, unhook your water, your power, your cable, bring up your stabilizing jacks, hook up your hitch, and head on up to your dump station. Now at your dump station, park accordingly. You're going to start with your black tank, which is going to be behind this. You got a 10-foot hose that'll reach from both if you park center by your tire. But you do want to start in the back. I recommend getting a bigger, stronger, longer one with a Y on it, because you have two tanks here. But let's start in the back. Hook up your hose and pull that black handle. That's going to be your sewage. Make sure when it sounds like that's no longer draining, go inside, check your tank. Leave that black handle open. Come on up here to your black tank flush. Hook up your hose at the dump station. Let that run for a good 5 minutes. It's going to wash all that nastiness out of your black tank. When that's done, close that up. Make sure all the washout that you put in there has drained. Then close your black. When that's done, remove your hose. Come down here to your gray. Hook that up and pull your gray handle. While your gray handle is draining, I like to go ahead and dump my low point drains. If you're done camping for the season, when them low point drains are done, come to your hot water heater. Lift up on this pressure release valve. That's going to dump the remainder of your hot water out of there. When that's done, push that back down, otherwise your door won't go back on. And then pull your drain plug for your residual hot water. Your hot water heater cover back on. Put your caps back on your low point drains. That gray is done. That's going to be cleaner water. Your sinks, your showers. That'll clean your sewage hose out for you. Take that sewage hose and conveniently and sanitarily store it right here in your sewage hose storage area. Again, thank you guys so much for your purchase. Hope you enjoy this Colt for many years to come. Happy camping.